Icons, 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 yes, we the icons. Icons, 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 yes, we the icons.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Icons of the UAE Season 2. My name is Pavitra Menon, and today on the show we have a multifaceted icon. A trailblazing entrepreneur, philanthropist and innovator. His remarkable journey from being a visionary business leader to a dedicated advocate for social impact is so commendable. Meet Dr. Harmeek Singh, founder and chairman of Plan B Group. Dr. Harmeek Singh, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
You look absolutely suave, I must tell you that.
You're looking pretty as well.
Oh, thank you so much. You're being really kind. But I have to ask you something. 20 years of Plan B
Right.
started with 2,000 dirhams.
Yeah, it actually just started with my journey in Dubai with 2,750 dirhams
Oh, man.
as a salary,
Yep. And that was like 22 years ago,
21 years ago.
21 years ago. So now when you look back, after creating this empire of 20 years with Plan B, how does that feel?
I don't want to actually sound like a veteran. I'm still work in progress.
Yeah.
So yeah, though it's been a journey that I would not change for anything that probably comes any other way. So
Absolutely.
it has been like a lot of things that you learn. Your life and your experiences is what you are. There's a chapters in your life. So what I have seen in my life, it has been a complete story that probably who I am.
That's a really good trait to have, you know? Like, what do you make of this situation without having a regret of something that you've done in the past?
True.
And you don't want to change it.
True.
Who was that some person that I can, or you can talk about, who was there by you, who stood by you, regardless of the situation, regardless of those times, the hurdles that you've faced? Can you name one person?
I've had, I might sound a little bit cliched about it, but then again, I have been touted since my childhood as a mama's boy.
Yeah.
But then again, my mom has always been a strength, as a pillar, as an inspiration, the way that she has been. But then again, she's been there thick and thin. My family has been there in my thick and thin as well. And the most important part, I always believe that I have Babaji watching over me. So that also gives me a bit of a checkpoint that right hand should always do right things, and that's what I believe in.
Right. So did you make her a call and tell her, Mama, I made it in life? What was that point when you knew that you made it?
I don't think that I've ever had this discussion with anybody that I've made it, because I still think that it's work in progress. But then again, when you see your mother, when you see your family actually getting emotional about things and getting a high about what is happening. So I think that's my certificate, that's my accolades, that I bring that to the table. They are, earlier it used to be kind of like old sayings that it used to be that I was known by my father's name. Today my parents are known by my name. So they are very happy about it.
Absolutely, which is why Plan B is such a huge company today. Everybody wants to be a part of it and associate with you, right? Now that brings me to another question, which of course a lot of people have asked you, why Plan B? Well, let me take it the other way around. Why not Plan A?
Okay. Now, that's something probably it's a good version of actually twisting it, but it's the same thing. Plan A, because I think it would have been very obvious. People would want to talk about themselves as numero uno, number one, Plan A. I considered Plan B, and it's got 3 different versions. Which one do you want me to talk about?
No, I wanted to know why people, everybody, like you said, numero uno is their objective. We're the number one TV channel, we're the number one show, this is what we do. But why did you think of the second?
There's a very obvious reason that probably I wanted to be creating myself into a different zone. So everybody would normally keep it Plan A, but Plan B was something that is a conversation breaker.
Right.
I've had millions of times, like any time that probably we meet, why Plan B? It stands out. That probably we're not talking about B being our Plan A. The second version that I've given to my clients is that you are our Plan A and we are your next level. So we are under you, but then again, working as a team. But the actual reason is, which is something that probably I wanted to actually just also talk about, it is because I have had been a very affluential background back home in India. And I was looking at what I should do in my life. And at that point, I had taken some loan from my father to start a business.
Okay.
which failed miserably. And then
In Chandigarh,
no, in Delhi.
in Delhi.
In Delhi. And when it failed, then my father very sarcastically asked me, so this is done, what's your plan B? So I still tell him every day, this is my plan B.
That's amazing. And what does he tell you now, looking at how you've grown?
They're proud. They're proud. They bask in the glory. And that's how it should be. You know, a father will always be happy if their children go ahead of them. They get to get more out of their lives than they have ever achieved. My father has been a symbol of influence and inspiration for me. He has, if he was affluential or if he had created his own version of empire, when we were talking about my growing up years when I was born, so he was doing something right, and it is something that probably I saw his respect in the community, in the fraternity. So I always wanted to be like my father, like any other son, any other child. My father was my superhero and still is.
Right.
So whatever that he has done, I've only taken it from him, and I've maybe had my version as a bespoke version out of it.
Right. And you must have learned a lot from that too, right? So is respect more important or is success in terms of money, monetary wise, or respect?
Respect any day.
Why would you say that?
I have a very clear direction in my life. This is one thing that probably I would not do is one, respect. Not being there, I walk out. And my team knows about it. It's a $1 million, $1 million, multi-million dollars project. We walk out because it's not something that probably we would actually want to sell ourselves on.
Right.
And money is so much easier now to make. If you have a direction, you can make money.
That's true.
But then again, respect and credibility is not on the shelf. You have to work hard towards it. And I have been very clear about in my life, respect is numero uno. That's top of my list. If respect is not there for my team, for myself, then I don't think money would justify that.
In this part of the world, especially, connections are very important. Word of mouth is very important because there's so many out there. There's always a space for somebody new to come and start something of their own.
True.
So do you think it's always word of mouth that's the connection that has helped you come so far?
I also feel that probably, and this is something that I would like to probably talk about.
Please.
It's not always about what you bring on the table. It's also to do with that what's been given to you. When I came to this region, I was a no one, a nobody, looking out for a job, who did not even know how to make a CV for himself. So getting myself onto looking at classified advertisements and going out for a job.
Those were those times.
Yeah, no, those were times that probably I can now laugh about.
Yeah.
And but then again, the things that probably I learned on those times, that has taught me so much that I don't think that probably I can probably be on that level to learn that much again. At that point, when I came, I had getting myself into places or opposite to people who were talking to me, not because who I was or like what I have as a credential for my professional background. They were talking to me because I was a Sikh. I was donning a turban. And this is a very important role that probably has changed my aspect of life as well. Why? Because I have met so many people. My first project with the royal family, and the way that probably it was like the trust that was given to me. And it was when I was discussing it with their teams and everybody else, and they said like, fine, we know that you're not going to probably have anything that probably is going to break this project. We trust you. Because one thing that we know that Sikhs don't lie and they don't cheat. That's the kind of thing that I did not bring. People before me over here, and I trust me, you go to any old local, they have got that openness. So if you are having that kind of respect towards my community, then it also became an added responsibility for me. That I have to be making sure that turban is respected. So anything that probably what I'm doing, it is not because I was appreciated from day one that how do I dress or how do I look. It was because for the fact that probably Sikhs have done something good, which has got a little bit of a honesty and a credibility that was there. So I took it from there, and rest, it has been my honesty towards sustainability, delivering and getting things done.
Right. Talking about sustainability, are you practicing that as well in your business?
Yes, we are.
Like?
We introduced our first ever run that happened during COP28. So Women's Run belongs to me. So we had the first sustainable run. We'd never had anything that was, it was all recycled material. The power that was used as well was human generated. So we made a big statement on that with this, sustainability being the year theme last year and as well this year. So we do have that value. We are a green company.
Right.
So we have our company kind of our directive towards that we are supporting. We work very closely with Ministry of Climate Change and Environment.
Right.
on a regular basis.
Right. There was also COP28 that happened last year,
Yes.
which I was a part of. You know, I have a lot of gratitude for this nation, for how it functions, especially when it comes to women. And you, as a philanthropist, has done a lot for the community. As somebody who is, you know, into women empowerment, how far has it taken you to do that? Or is it always been in you that you want to do something for the community that way?
There's two parts to this. One, you said about the community.
Yes.
Or I would consider that as a society. So I do have a firm belief about the community that I belong to, which is Sikh, and I'm a very proud Sikh. I'm a very proud Indian as well. But at the moment, my honest respect is towards this nation as well, which is my nation as well. So I do have respect towards the whole social fabric of UAE, the way that it is actually. Being an ethnic, having nobody to back me up, this place gave me equal opportunities. This place gave me that kind of a backing that I am who I am today.
Yeah.
So I would consider my responsibility to give back to the society or the social fabric is very important for me. How do we do that? How do we make sure that probably we are passing the kind of right information? What can we do to see that if there's anything that is down, we can bring it up? So we do have that. On the women empowerment, I think it is from my home because stereotypes that I have seen broken in my own childhood. I know for a fact that when in 1980s, it was a very different thing when it comes down to women working. My mother started to work with my father in our corporation, and she was the first woman in our family and in our society and in our culture as well, who was taking and managing 500 people back home in India. So looking at that grit, looking at the social stereotypes to be broken, that only showed me that this is what is right.
This is normal.
This is norms. And once you get to a position that you get an opportunity, I have been a part of different platforms, but the most suited for me to probably is that I have gotten myself into a part where I'm playing a role for Women's Run, on Women of Substance, on platforms which is actually giving. I don't think women are inferior. I think women are superior. And that's what we as a society have never encouraged or never recognized. As coming from a background from India or over here, I think it is important that we recognize that. And this place, as UAE, the most ministers being women, the things that probably they have gotten, the region is now following, where people were not even allowed to drive. So we were much ahead of time.
Of course.
A Women's Run, which was the first and the biggest platform for a sporting event for women, happened in Dubai. So all of this has encouraged me to what I believe in. And there's a quote from Sri Guru Granth Sahib, which I always talk, and I'm going to probably have this documented over here as well.
Yes, for sure.
So kyo manda aakhiye jit janman rajan. That means, how can a woman be inferior from who kings are born? From who you are having as a friend, as a family, or as your sister. So she's equal and she's actually superior. So that's a belief that I have brought up with, and that's what I believe.
It's brilliant. I think on this note, we have to take a break.
Sure.
I'm going to continue this interesting conversation with Dr. Harmeek Singh. This is Icons of the UAE Season 2. We'll take a break and come right back. Back in conversation with Dr. Harmeek Singh, right here on Icons of the UAE Season 2. My name is Pavitra Menon. Welcome back, Harmeek. So good to have spoken to you so much about who you are and what makes you so different from the rest of them. And it's just so nice. I know that you're not giving me any gyan here, but it's nice to hear the things that you have learned and experienced, which brings me to your creative side. You have that creative side. When you write, you're into poetry as well. Does that come from reading and observing, or what is it? What is that side of you that a lot of people don't know?
I think reading is there, but then it's limited because I hardly get time. But poetry or writing or playing with my words is my vent. So whenever that probably I feel something, I have to get it off my chest. And things that probably we could consider, that's my harmony. That's my in sync with my soul as well. So I do have a lot of emotion that probably trouble me at times. So it might be 4 o'clock in the morning that I wake up and the pen starts to do the thing.
Right.
I do have a dream that I'm working on, which I've been like getting time, but I'm trying to actually get it off.
Can you tell us?
I'm trying to write a book. And that book is something probably is very close to what I believe in. And that's where probably I'm very considerate about that. Probably what I'm feeling, I just put that out over there as well. I can tell you the title.
That's what I wanted to ask you next. Is that going to be like a memoir of your?
No, it's not. It's not. It's to do with the journey and as well what I've experienced, but again, not about not my biography. It's to do with experiences, and it's to do with what I have seen others experience as well.
Right.
So the book is titled "The World That Was."
The world that was.
That was.
That's amazing. Apart from poetry, there's also polo that you're interested in.
I'm more interested in horses.
Horses.
So I'm an animal lover. So horses is something that probably just defines another. I don't know. It might be something from my earlier life.
Yeah.
But horses and me go very, very, very.
Do you
close.
believe in like last birth and all of that?
I don't know, but then again, mysteriously, yes. As a Scorpio, I think that probably there is something.
Do you converse with your horses? Do you do all of that?
I converse with my very stupid drama queen husky, who does talk to me every day, and before I sleep as well. So yeah, no, I do have got a thing with animals.
Right. And does that make you more humble or brings out the sportsman spirit in you?
I think sports is one thing that I've had always in my life. Sports is a thread that I think it's a language spoken by all the world. It's a kind of rivalry that we should have apart from the ones on the borders.
Absolutely.
And it is one language that probably gets everybody together. Even if you win or you lose, you're together. And that's where I have been posting myself as something that I get an opportunity. I was the first ever expat to represent UAE as a strategy director for UAE Athletic Federation. I was behind looking at new talent, looking at how we represent UAE as well to create sports as a sports diplomacy. I was a part of backend for Dubai Marathon. I have been a part of most of the FIFA events that have happened in this region. The sports definitely is in my DNA somehow, and I believe that sports is a thing that probably that drives me as well on competitiveness, on looking at how I actually just excel. So it's like playing a game or not playing a game. You reach to a point, you reach to a level. You're never going to be happy with that. You need to go to the next level. So
And it also teaches you how to cope up with failure, right?
100%.
And have you tasted one?
Many times. But I don't think that failure gets you down. It's the mindset that gets you down. So failure, if you think it's a failure, then you're gone. I think it's an attempt. I need to try again.
I'm having an interesting chat with Dr. Harmeek Singh. My name is Pavitra Menon. We're going to be right back after this short break on Icons of the UAE Season 2. You know, seldom do you come across a man talking about certain things that women go through, which is not really a problem again, but this is a part of our cycle. This is our living, right? It's a part of our living. And you just spoke about menopause summit to me, you know, off camera. Can you tell us more about it? Please enlighten me about the summit that you're into, that a lot of men in general consider it stigma in our community.
That's exactly what prompted me, because this was a platform that has got the medical background with the people who have just joined hands and to make sure the public. See, the things are probably about getting awareness, having the knowledge is very important, that when the society comes to a point. So menopause is not something that probably is a disease. Menopause is not also something that probably is not going to happen. It's the way that you handle it.
It's life.
It's life. It's a part of life.
Yeah.
So why is it so important that we talk about successes and everything else, the stereotypes, there's always a woman behind a man's success. Why can't be a man behind a woman's success or behind anything that is going on in a woman's life? So when it was brought to me, and I was like straight away, I was gung-ho about it, because this is something that people don't talk about. First thing is talk about it. Second, you get the knowledge about it, awareness. I don't think that men can. We have our version of it, but then again, men don't go through menopause, but we can definitely be supportive towards the women in our lives who are going through it.
Right.
And that's very important, because that's a time where confusion is galore. That's a time that probably we would consider that there is a kind of support system that could be created from the men as well.
Right.
It's not something that it's not our problem. It's our problem. The women who have supported us throughout our lives, the thing that probably they have supported us in our thick and thin, unlike being a man flu, this is something requires men to follow and to also look at this as an issue that they need to be aware about. Right. So it's happening on 18th of October, the first ever GCC Menopause Summit.
Okay.
And I'm getting so many good and positive feedback about it. So there's a campaign that we started, which is man supporting women. So I'm one of them.
That's amazing. This is brilliant.
I have been an ambassador for Foundation for Women and Children in Dubai. This is under His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. So violence against women was one thing that I picked up as what we were partnered up with. And the first campaign that we did was speak up, to a point, because first time domestic violence is something that we all take in. But till we don't speak up, there's not something that we can or people would know about it. So that campaign was a kind of a head turner for everybody.
Right.
And we had painted the whole of Dubai orange at that point. And I think that's where I learned as well, by talking about things, by making people aware about it. It gets settled and we can discuss and we can be a better version of it. So society, the social fabric needs to talk about things that we have not talked or not spoken about earlier. Menopause is one of them.
Yeah, sure. And that's exactly my question. Is it only the talking that's going to be making a difference?
I think it's to do with education as well after that. So I learned a lot of things recently, that how good it is during that period to have fiber, what kind of diet that you need to do. I just learned very recently what a menopause dance is, just to get your hormones, a hormonal dance, which probably gets you into it. So that is where probably you need to understand what a phase of a woman that is going out. I had a curved wall from one of the interviews that probably was completely spontaneous, and the presenter asked me, so how do you think that you men are going to deal with it? Because at the end, women are turning into men because of emotions going down. And I have a very simple answer to that. At that point, I think men should have a little bit of a connect to their feminine side, and it balances out.
All right, so back to plan B then. I heard that you've done a special event for the blue-collar workers in Dubai, in UAE. Was that true? And what was it like? What was the agenda behind that?
I'd like to correct you. It was for skilled workers, not blue-collar workers.
Skilled workers.
So because I have put a petition to the UN, and there's a team working on it, that how can a color define a community or a sector?
That's amazing.
It cannot be. So the people who have actually built this city, people who built pretty much everything, cannot be touted as a blue-collared worker.
Or a white collar, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have been looking at my journey, where I've seen that things that never happened to me, or the way that I've seen people around me as well.
Right.
So I have had an opportunity to bring happiness, where probably it started with small things that probably can make do wonders. I told you about happiness is something that probably can be passed as well.
Yeah.
So I did take up an event amongst others. We booked Lamsey Cinema, that used to be a mall earlier.
Right.
The Lamsey Cinema, I booked it for 3 days, and that's when the movie Sing is Bling was about to be launched. So we had support from the whole team from Sing is Bling, Akshay Kumar. So we gave a surprise. We had most of the skilled workers to come across from Sharjah, from Sonapur to Al Quoz to wherever.
Yeah.
And we had buses, and we had the movie showcase for free.
Right.
But the whole surprise was that Amy Jackson was flown down, and she was sitting with them and watching the movie as well. So that was something that is a money can't buy experience, and happiness was seen on their faces.
Right.
And then we had a little buffet. I had a restaurant in Lamsey as well, so we had a buffet for everybody.
Right.
So that's something that's where probably you know that when you see smiles at times, that's your currency, that's your win, that what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you an expressive person with your family, with your team? When they do something good, do you give them a pat on their back and say, well done, or you're someone who will speak in another language? Like some people are very good with gifting. I'm not saying materialistic, but in general. Or do you express through words?
So I'm someone who is the rain that you might get in Dubai, not the last one, because when I have a compliment, it's genuine. When I say something, it means I don't say it for the sake of it. So my team knows it, my family knows it, कि if मैंने बोला है तो ये genuine है, or that becomes a little bit more kind of a accoladic, that probably it's an accolade or some validation that probably it is. But I'm expressive in my own rights, and I'm expressive to a point where it's not spoken, but yet it has been understood by people.
That's
people who know me.
So man a few words in certain situations, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's taken you a long way. It's amazing. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this, I guess, is the most interesting part of the show, where I get to ask you some questions, and it has to be rapid. It's rapid fire. So are you ready?
Is it a hamper?
You need to ask the producer. I'll give you his address and the number. All right. So number one, if you were stranded on an island, who would you take along?
Floki, my husky.
I thought it would be a mom.
He's an entertainer.
Okay.
But my mom, I would have to take care of her as well.
All right. If given a chance, would you write songs for films like mainstream cinema? Because you're a poet yourself.
No, never.
Why?
I don't believe that probably that's the kind of poetry that I write is going to either make the movie go flop or it's not going to be forgotten. I write about real things, so I don't think I am fit for the real.
Can you make us listen to something, like 2 lines? Original, something that you have written.
Not at the moment. I would rather actually just be very mindful about it, that what I want to speak about.
So I think I'm going to read that in your book.
I'm going to send it out.
For sure.
Yes.
I get the first copy.
You do.
All right. So if you ever were rewarded with something, who would you thank the most? Who would you say your gratitude?
My gratitude goes out definitely to my parents and Almighty.
And what's the most rewarding feeling?
The rewarding feeling is that when you have worked really hard and you have actually just done something from the bottom of your effort and bottom of your consciousness, and then you get that, that's the kind of feeling that you find yourself as a winner. You find yourself that probably you've achieved something. So that's a feeling.
And favorite aspect of being a philanthropist?
Of connecting, of getting myself an opportunity to be humble and not forgetting where I came from.
If you could organize an event anywhere in the world, where would it be?
It would be in Dubai.
In Dubai?
In Dubai.
Why so? Because you've already done many here.
I know, but then again, if I have to do an event that probably is close to my heart, it will be Dubai. So I've got 2 motherlands. One is India and one is UAE. So I see that how Dubai has grown. I've grown with Dubai. So why not Dubai?
Okay, let's take Dubai out. Out of 500, like countries that you've visited or whatever, what is your favorite place that you've had?
London.
Why?
I've got my family over there, and the time that probably I go over there, that's the time that my phones have been snatched and I've been asked not to do anything. Yeah. And after 6 o'clock, everything closes down. So that becomes a kind of a me time for me. So I've seen a lot of good moments and good memories over there.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. That was your few rapid fire questions that I had for you. But on that note, it's time to wrap up on Icons of the UAE Season 2. My name is Pavitra Menon. Stay tuned.
We iconic, so iconic. We the legends, we the leaders and guides, yes. Pushing progress till end of time. Cause we so iconic, yes. We so iconic, yes. We iconic, so iconic. We the legends, we the leaders and guides, yes. Pushing progress till end of time. Cause we so iconic, yes. We so iconic, yes. We the legends, we the leaders and guides, yes. Pushing progress till end of time. Cause we so iconic, yes. We so iconic. We iconic, so iconic. We the legends, we the leaders and guides, yes. Pushing progress till end of time.
बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको. जिंदगी में प्लान बी कितना जरूरी होता है? How important is it?
I think बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. सबको रखना चाहिए अपने पास एक plan B. But thank you first of all, NKN Group and India Today Group as well. Thank you for having me being on the stage. A lot of people that I see, I've been looking up to them. But then again, being amongst them, thank you.
Congratulations and plan B हम सब तैयार रखेंगे अपने जीवन में. आपने अपने नाम से इंस्पायर किया है. Thank you so much for coming and accepting this award. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
We iconic, so iconic.